On November 5th, 2021, Travis Scott had his performance at the AstroWorld Festival in Houston. AstroWorld Festival is an annual event organized by Travis Scott that had over 50,000 attendees, making the crowd very packed. And what happened was the event resulted in a massive crowd surge that led to deaths of 10 people and injuries to others. There was reports of overcrowding and insufficient medical and security personnel, which led to this tragic incident. About 23 minutes into the concert, Cameron Gregory Hoffman radioed that people were dying as his crane was overrun by concertgoers needing help. But the production team, despite understanding something was wrong, asked when the crane could be operational again, showing their disconnect from reality. When Travis Scott took the stage, the crowd surged forward, causing panic, dangerously compressed conditions, and trapping people who were unable to move or breathe. The event planning and security faced severe criticism for inadequate crowd control, insufficient medical personnel, and delayed response time, which exaggerated the tragedy. Following this tragedy, numerous lawsuits were filed against Travis Scott, Live Nation, who was the event organizer, and other involved parties. This incident also sparked a conversation about concert safety and the responsibilities of performers and organizers to ensure the safety of everyone going to the concert. In this slide, we will be looking at the case study analysis breakdown, identifying who is affected and how. The victims and their family needed immediate support and communication, as well as each concert attendee who was traumatized from such a tragic event. Also, the event organizers and staff were responsible for safety and logistics. Travis Scott and the other performers, such as Drake, are facing public harshness. Sponsors and partners, their reputation have been impacted from such a tragic event, and many people feel that at this event there was nothing done to prevent this. Travis Scott, as well as his team and the security, knew how many people were in attendance before and could see that this crowd was packed, as well as Travis Scott likes to promote violence with mosh pits. So knowing that, the team should have done something beforehand. And this is something that many people are saying to this day. In this slide, I will be going over the case study impact assessment. The immediate impact of this was the loss of lives, injuries, and trauma among the attendees. The significant backlash against Travis Scott and the organizers really damaged his reputation. As I said in a couple other slides, that there was a lot of lawsuits and financial liabilities that went with this tragedy. And following the AstroWorld tragedy, collaborating with Travis Scott went from a positive beforehand to a negative after the AstroWorld tragedy. Collaborators did not want to work with him as they felt that it was a negative impact to their image. Leveraging a newsworthy event to support the response narrative, Travis Scott's response, one of the things that he initiated was Project Heal, which launched in March 2022 to address youth challenges and support community initiatives. Project Heal has 4 core initiatives. a scholarship fund, an expansion of the CAC.US Youth Design Center, free mental health resources, and a U.S. Conference of Mayors Task Force of Event Safety. This was something that was supposed to engage students with technology and design, as well as partner with organizations for mental health support, and have event safety task force improving protocols at large-scale events. When a tragedy like this strikes, the job of the PR team is to lessen the severity of the incident. So Travis Scott expressed his grief and support for the victims' families on social media through posts on Twitter and Instagram, where he shared his devastation over the incident and pledged to collaborate with the Houston community to aid families in need. He also released a video statement on Instagram where he appeared visibly emotional and sorrow for the tragedy that happened. Travis Scott seemed very empathetic and gave support to the victims and their families by offering to cover funeral costs, providing full refunds to the festival attendees, and partnering with BetterHelp to offer a month of free therapy to those affected by the incident. His PR team emphasized his willingness to cooperate with law enforcement and investigators to determine the cause of the tragedy and to prevent future occurrences. Travis Scott and his PR team developed a crisis communication strategy that included updates through the press conferences, media interviews, and public briefings, while also utilizing social media for public apologies. Although Travis Scott kept a low profile on social media, there was many times where he did apologize on social media as well as during interviews. He wanted to portray a positive image. While looking through a lot of research on this event, I kept coming up words like devastating incident, tragic, investigation, heartfelt, sorry, apologizing, impact, and all these words stood out because they were all strategic use of keywords in response to the tragedy that had happened. These keywords really pull the user in to make sure that they understand his heartfelt apology. And the PR team makes sure that these are strategically placed in many of his apologies. Thank you very much for watching and listening to my Travis Scott AstroWorld Festival Crisis.